Hello everyone, so welcome back to Lewis's Football Mind for today's video of the Football Talk. This is episode 3 of this show where I talk about the major news, transfers and debates as well. If anyone wants to come on, please just DM me. I'm happy to have anybody on, talk about anything you like. I'm thinking about doing a Premier League all-time 11. There has been a big discussion recently on Kevin De Bruyne's status in the Premier League and where he ranks amongst the best. So would he be in your Premier League all-time 11? Comment down below. I do apologise if my voice sounds weird today. I've just got my braces off, if you noticed. And I've got my retainer on right now. I have to keep it on. So if I sound a bit weird, I do apologise in advance. So today's video, we're going to be starting with a debate. And it has been put up a lot recently, been talked about a lot. Should FA Cup replays be scrapped? I'm going to be going over the two sides of the argument and coming up with my verdict. Also, why Haaland should have won Player of the Year award, FIFA the Best award, which is voted by the players, managers, etc. So I'm going to talk about why I would have voted for Erling Haaland and also why he should have won the Ballon d'Or in my opinion. And John Henson's move to Ajax, my opinion on that. Obviously, as a Liverpool fan, it was good to see John Henderson leave in the summer for Saudi Arabia, but now he's back new with Ajax as well, hoping to guide them out of their misery in the Eredivisie this season. So a lot to talk about today. Hopefully you enjoy, so please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Trying to get the channel publicized more and more and more, hopefully to make even more better content for you guys. So right, let's get started with the debate of the video. Should FA Cup replays be scrapped? So obviously there is two sides of the argument. There has been discussion on this topic ever since the third round, where there was a few replays, including Brentford versus Wolves, where Thomas Frank, manager, said he doesn't like the replays. So obviously that has created a debate on social media on if FA Cup replays should be scrapped. I think they are getting scrapped next season, I believe. But I do want to still talk about it and see if it's the right decision. Obviously, there is two sides of the argument. Right, we'll start with the Premier League sides, like the top European sides in England, the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, etc. And why scrapping replays will be good for them. Obviously, the expansion of the Champions League next season means there will be more and more games and more travelling for these sides. So they are trying to reduce the football calendar as much as they possibly can, trying to find gaps where they can reduce games. And one of the gaps they found is FA Cup replays, which means if it's a draw, it will go to extra time and penalties starting from next season's FA Cup campaign, so there will be no more replays. Is this good for the big teams? Yeah, it is good, because obviously it takes away travelling more, it takes away buying another ticket for the top 6 Premier League teams, etc. But is it good for the teams lower down in the football pyramid? No, it is not. I do feel like teams who aren't in the Premier League are forgotten quite a lot right now. Obviously, football is getting bigger and bigger. The Premier League is getting bigger and bigger, and more money is getting involved. We've seen takeovers in the last 20 years of Chelsea from Roman Abramovich, Manchester City from Sheikh Mansour. Now we've seen Newcastle get taken over by the Saudis in the last few years. So more and more money is getting involved in the English game and football in general. But can we forget about the teams down below? The teams who are struggling, the teams who are barely able to pay their staff, the teams who dream of the FA Cup, right down the bottom of the football pyramid, the local teams who are in the little towns, the little villages, who have aspirations of playing in the FA Cup and going as far as they can. Scrapping replays will be bad for them. Let me tell you why. I think it would be bad for them. Because let's just say I go to Gateshead games sometimes, quite a lot. Gateshead are my second team. I do love going to Gateshead games. It's a real joy to watch Gateshead sometimes. Obviously, they're not as good as Liverpool, of course, but to see what football like down below the football pyramid is fantastic to see, and the differences are massive. Scrapping FA Cup replays could be a big problem because for the last few years we've seen so many clubs barely make it, scrape by. We've seen Derby County seconds away from going bust. We've seen Reading. We see what happening to Reading right now. Tennis balls chucked on the pitch. Fans have to go onto the pitch to protest about their despicable owners. It is horrible. We're also seeing in the Premier League, we're seeing Everton's owner, we're seeing the Glazers. Obviously, that is completely different to the lower. We're seeing so many bad owners right now. But let's get back to the lower teams like Bury. They went bust. I think they've formed again now. Macclesfield as well. These FA Cup replays are the things that could save clubs like Reading, like Derby. The little differences, the little prize money bonuses are the tiniest of tiniest differences that could save a football club. That could pay the kitchen staff, that could pay the caretaker and the ground staff, all that. The little differences, that £50,000, that £20,000 bonus of getting to the next round of the FA Cup or holding on to get a replay. They are the little differences that save a football club. We've seen also Bolton Wanderers in the last few years. These scenes are horrible. We never ever want to see a football club go bust. Ever. No fan whatsoever, no fan base, no staff, no players deserve to go through that. And it is horrible to see. It is ruining the English game, these owners. But why am I talking about this when we're meant to be talking about the FA Cup? Because scrapping FA Cup replays it's what helped football clubs build. You know, for example, I've seen Gateshead go to the FA Cup. We've been knocked out the second round before. We've got some prize money off that. That helps us sign players. That helps us improve the academy, improve the facilities in the ground. Even though we don't own the Gateshead International Stadium, stuff like that. That is what the little money helps. We've seen Maidstone United. Maidstone, who Gateshead beat at home last season in the fourth round of the FA Cup, and it is an achievement that will never ever be forgotten by Maidstone players and supporters. They get to go Ipswich away at Portman Road in the next few weeks for the fourth round of the FA Cup, and the prize money they'll be getting off that is sensational. And let's just say they held Ipswich to let's just say a 1-1 draw, and then but FA Cup replays have been scrapped. They'll still get prize money, of course, but not every lower league team can get the fourth round of the FA Cup. We all know that. Let's just say that go 1-1 draw, go to extra time, go to penalties, get knocked out. They'll still get prize money, but the prize money they could have got from a replay could be so significant to Maidstone, who obviously rely on volunteers, just like the general public to help them out. The money that they could generate off that can help with so many things. It can improve the academy. I believe Maidstone have a 3G pitch. It could help them save up for a grass pitch. Improve a stand, improve the food, improve the technology. It could do anything. And scrapping the FA Cup replays means that clubs like Maidstone could miss out on significant money that could help them build as a football club in the future. I do believe that they shouldn't be scrapped because of these reasons. Obviously, as a Liverpool, when I have my Liverpool head on, if we drew against Arsenal, would I have been pissed off that we had to play a replay? Yeah, of course I would. I'm going to be honest with you, I would have been pissed off. Jurgen Klopp would have been pissed off. He would have probably said something. Obviously, that's fair enough to say your opinion, but we can't forget about the football pyramid. The football pyramid can't just be about the Premier League teams. You know, the top 6 teams, who, by the way, we wanted to leave the Premier League. We wanted to go to the Super League a few years ago, Liverpool. And they are actions that cannot be forgiven. We can't forget about the football pyramid. You know, the South Shields, the Gators, the Heaven Towns, the FA Vars teams, FA Trophy teams. We can't forget about them. We can't forget about the teams who are so close to going bust, like Reading, who have despicable owners who just do not care. FA Cup replays are the smallest of smallest margins for these teams. And will Maidstone make the fourth round of the FA Cup every year? No, probably not. But the prize money they could gather, let's just imagine the whole Ipswich to a 1-1 draw away, they'll get the home tie, the money they'll gather from that, you know, tickets, food, all this, TV, licenses, because BBC or ITV will definitely be watching this game live. So the money they could gather off that is so significant for clubs like Maidstone, who obviously are low in the football pyramid. So that is one side. You have to think about the lower football pyramid here. But let's just now put our Premier League heads in, the top 6 teams in, and why FA Cup replays are bad for the top Premier League teams. Obviously bad because it's more football, more travelling, etc. More money for fans to pay to get a ticket for a replay match. Obviously, a lot of these teams in the Champions League, the Europa League, Conference League, in multiple competitions. So replays for top Premier League sides, of course, is bad because it's more games and more travelling for the players, of course. So, do I like FA Cup replays? No, I don't like them. But should they be scrapped? No, I don't think they should be. You can't just think about the top teams. It's just not fair. You know, if Gateshead, like, you know, got the third round, got a 1-1 draw somewhere, then got to play home in the second replay, the money we could gather that. Like, Gateshead don't make a lot of money. We're a fan-owned football club. We don't even own the stadium. You know, the rent of Gateshead International Stadium is a fortune every single month. So the money we could gather off that, we would get a good 3,000-4,000 people in a replay as well. So like, they're the little differences for football clubs like Gateshead for FA Cup replays. Obviously, Premier League sides do have to play a lot of games, of course, and the games are just multiplying, especially for the international players. We know we're seeing the Euros this summer, we're seeing the African Cup of Nations on right now, the Asian Cups on right now. 2026 we're going to see, I believe, 48 teams in the World Cup in USA, Canada and Mexico. So there's even more games. That's a longer tournament, of course, as well. So yeah, the games are getting longer and longer. We're seeing the Nations League being introduced in the last 5 or 6 years as well. International, there's so many games. Conference League's been introduced, I think 2-3 years ago now. And then Champions League is expanding next season. So football is getting bigger and bigger. There's more and more games, and we can't forget about the FA Cup, which is the oldest club competition in the world. People don't remember that. The FA Cup is still significant for big sides, and you know, the dream for these teams in the football pyramid is to go as far as they can in the FA Cup, to have memorable days at home, you know, where they get the 1-0 win, the pitch invasions, you know, all that. That is the joy of the FA Cup. You know, we've seen pictures at Maidstone of people watching the game through a bush, all that, the ball getting kicked out of the stadium, like onto the road, behind the ground. That is what the FA Cup is all about. And the oldest club competition in the world can't be forgotten about for the Champions League, for the World Cup. And it's not even like, you know, like Giovanni Infantino, all these presidents of FIFA, UEFA, are they doing it for the fans? Are they doing it for the players? Are they thinking about the well-being of the fans, the players, the managers, everybody involved who have to travel more and more? You know, like, not just, obviously, footballers at the top level get paid an absolute fortune. Of course they do. But at the same time, mental health has been a massive talking point in the last 10-15 years or so. Not even that, really. It's like, it's got bigger and bigger mental health. And obviously, the more work you do, the more stress you put on. Obviously, these guys have families, you know. Obviously, the money is ridiculous at times, but of course, we have to think about mental health as well. So, but like, It just doesn't make sense. You're gonna scrap FA Cup replays, but you're gonna expand the Champions League. You're gonna put a fucking league table, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and then the World Cup of 48 teams, which it might work. It might work. Like the World Cup's been expanded before. I swear the World Cup in 1930 only had like 8 or 10 teams or something. Hasn't always been 32 teams. It has expanded over time and it's going up to 48 now. Obviously more games, but it gives more opportunities for lower ranked countries. It just means more games. But if they're doing this, the Champions League, the World Cup, all that, the FA Cup should not be forgotten about. The oldest club competition in the world. We can't forget about the teams who founded the Football League all that time ago. The likes of Notts County and all sorts. I forget who else is in the original 12, I believe. We can't forget about them. We can't forget about the oldest club competition in the world because it's just not fair. We can't do that because, like, the FA Cup is so significant. It's still significant to top teams. Obviously, it might not be as significant as when you were younger and all that, like, growing up. Like, 20, 30 years ago, the FA Cup was massive for an English player. But now it just feels like it's been forgotten about, and it just feels like, oh yeah, if you win the FA Cup, just another trophy, just Mickey Mouse trophy. And it shouldn't be like that for any team. The FA Cup should be the highlight of players' careers as well. So we can't forget about the oldest club competition in the world, and we can't forget about those teams low on the football pyramid. So let's go on to the conclusion. Should FA Cup replays be scrapped? No, I don't think there should be. Obviously, we can't forget about the football pyramid. It's the oldest club competition in the world. Obviously, there is the other side where, there is too many games. I do get that, but the revenue that I can bring to lower sides in the football pyramid, it's just so significant, and it saves football clubs and it creates jobs and creates a future for these big football teams. So that's my opinion on the FA Cup. So let's go on to the next topic. Why Erling Haaland should have won the FIFA's Best Player of the Year. So many awards, there was the Globe Soccer ones the other night. I think Haaland actually won that one. Cristiano Ronaldo was at that as well. I think that's in like Saudi Arabia or something like that. And there's the FIFA Pro 11, that 3-3-4 formation, the weirdest formation I've ever seen. The Ballon d'Or, and of course the FIFA's Best Player. Edison was best goalkeeper, I believe. I think he did anyway. I think he won that and Courtois got in the Pro 11 side. Obviously Lionel Messi won the best player, which is voted by other professional players like the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, all those big names in football. But do I believe that Lionel Messi deserved it? No. Do I have anything against Lionel Messi? No. Am I a Ronaldo fan? No. Am I a Messi fan? No. I'm not a Messi fanboy, I'm not a Ronaldo fanboy. As simple as that. I do think Messi is the GOAT, so if I had to pick one, I would pick Messi. That's who I think's had the better career and the better player. Watching them both for the last, when I started watching football 2014, 2015, last 10 or so years. And then obviously when I was younger as well, seeing them win Champions Leagues, La Ligas, Ronaldo win the Euros, Messi recently winning the World Cup. They've both had sensational careers, and I don't really like to argue about who's the best out of the two, because I think they're both world class. I think they're the two best players to ever grace football, in my opinion, and I think they've had sensational careers, scoring hundreds of goals, winning tens of trophies, and becoming global phenomenons worldwide as well. Lionel Messi obviously is definitely being talked about more than Cristiano Ronaldo in the last year. So obviously Lionel Messi won the World Cup on the 18th of December 2022. I think that's one of the reasons why people have voted for him, because the World Cup. I don't think that's fair, because I believe the votings, like the time for this award was the day after the World Cup. So like this shouldn't really count. Same with the Ballon d'Or. I believe it started up the day after the World Cup, so the World Cup isn't really in like the talking point, to be honest with that. Is it corrupt? I don't want to like say corrupt, like it's like absolute robbery, and I feel like Haaland's been very hard done by though. A treble winning player. He's won 5 trophies in 2023. Messi, I think he won League One, won League Cup in MLS as well. But a player in America, it's crazy how a player in America can win the best player of the year and the Ballon d'Or as well. If the World Cup was like in 2023, I would get it. But the fact it was in 2022, it's been 13 months, so it's been over a year now since the World Cup. Just means I just don't agree with it, to be honest. I have nothing against Messi before people absolutely slate at me. I'd have nothing against Messi. I just think Erling Haaland deserved it. Champions League winner, top goal scorer in the Champions League with 12 goals, I believe. Premier League winner, 36 goals. That's the record. He broke Shearer record, Andy Cole record. I think they scored 34 goals, and that's in a 42 game Premier League season. Mohamed Salah, he doesn't get talked about enough, by the way. His record, he scored 32 goals as a right winger in his third season as a Chelsea flop in 17-18. He broke that record as well. He broke Luis Suarez's record as well. In his first season as a young striker, a young Norwegian striker who is absolutely sensational. And then later on in the year, he's just won the FIFA Club World Cup as well, with Manchester City beating Fluminense in the final. I don't think he didn't play because of injury, but still he's still part of the squad. He's who won the competition as well, and also won the Super Cup as well against Sevilla as well. So that's 5 trophies, scoring 50 goals as well. That's up there with Mbappe, Ronaldo, etc. as well. So what a year he's had. I don't think it's getting talked about enough how good 2023 was for Erling Haaland. You know how young he is. In my opinion, he should have won the Ballon d'Or and he should have won Player of the Year. Will he be bothered? I think he will be. If I would be angry, I would be annoyed. But you know what I mean? Like, it's obviously a treble winner, 5 trophies in a year, breaking Premier League records, win the Champions League in his first year at Manchester City, all this, and not to win the Ballon d'Or or the Player of the Year is definitely probably frustrating for Erling Haaland, in my opinion. But I definitely think he should have won. And I know people will disagree with me. It's your opinion. My opinion is he should have won the Ballon d'Or. My opinion is he should have won Player of the Year as well. I do think there is a bit of favouritism to Messi. Obviously, 2020 Ballon d'Or, Lewandowski should have won that. Messi couldn't win it that year, so they didn't give it. So they just cancelled it. That's a big belief by a lot of people. Do I agree with that? I do. I still think Lewandowski should have won that. I think everyone agrees Lewandowski should have won that. He won a treble. He scored record goals as well. He should have won that. 2019, Messi won. Virgil van Dijk had a massive case. If Virgil van Dijk won the Ballon d'Or, that would have been significant. That would have been brilliant. For the Liverpool fan, that would be massive. I think Virgil van Dijk could have won that. But yeah, I have nothing against Messi. I love Messi. I think he's sensational. That World Cup was absolutely amazing. I don't care if people say, "Oh, he scored a lot of penalties." You've still got to score a penalty. You've still got to put it away. So yeah, I thought the World Cup was amazing, but that was in 2022, and I don't think that should contribute to late 2023 awards where player, I think 22, first year in the Prem, first year at Manchester, winning 5 trophies, scoring 36 goals in a season, scoring 50 goals in a calendar year, and becoming world champion, European champion, and English champion for the third time in a row, helping Manchester City do all those things. So I do think that deserved to win the Ballon d'Or and Player of the Year over a player who's still had a good year. I think he scored like 28 goals, 12 assists. That's still really good stats. But that's not. I don't think that's Ballon d'Or winning stats. I don't think that's Player of the Year winning stats, especially playing in the MLS, playing in League One. You know what I mean? I don't think they're um, stats that could win you a Ballon d'Or. Obviously, if you put the World Cup into the equation, then I do get it. If the World Cup's an equation, then probably it's fair. It's more okay. But as the World Cup's not in the equation, then I don't think it is fair. So that is my opinion. Erling Haaland was very hard done by for the 2023 Ballon d'Or and the 2023 Player of the Year, and should have won it in my opinion. Next up, we will go to Jordan Henderson from Al Ittihad. I didn't say that right, did I? To Ajax. Obviously left Liverpool in the summer to join the Saudi side with Steven Gerrard at the helm, and it just hasn't worked out. Look, he's playing in front of 800 flipping fans, you know what I mean? Giza get more than that. We get around 1,000 to 2,000 every home game. And to see a change, I don't think John Henson's a big enough name in football and in just global sense to go over to Saudi Arabia and change a whole entire country. He said he wants to change football in Saudi Arabia. I just don't think he's big enough to do that. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously he went over last year. Like he has changed football in Saudi Arabia. I don't think John Henson is that kind of guy. He's got the leadership and all that, and he's got the heart to do that. But I just don't think he's a big enough name to do that. A lot of Saudi fans would say, "Oh, would you heard of John Henson?" 70% of them would say yes. Probably 30% would say no. If you say, have you heard of Cristiano Ronaldo? 99% of them would say yes. I can guarantee that. I could go over to Saudi Arabia tomorrow and ask a survey, have you heard of John Henson? 70% would say yeah, 30% would say no probably. And then, have you heard of Cristiano Ronaldo? Pretty much everyone would say yeah, because everyone's heard of Cristiano Ronaldo, even non-football fans. You ask non-football fans to say, have you heard of Cristiano Ronaldo? I said, oh yeah, he's a Portuguese guy. Lionel Messi, oh, he's the Argentinian guy. They're the two names that could really change Saudi Arabian football. So I'm just going to talk about my opinion on it. Obviously, do I think leaving Liverpool's right decision? I do get it, because obviously he knew he wasn't going to play much. He knew he was just going to be coming off the bench once in a while, starting cup games. I still think he could have stayed. I don't think he was offered a new contract, I believe. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's right or not. It would have been nice to see him stay at least another year, to help Liverpool fight for another Premier League title, win the Europa League in his final year. It would have been great to do all that with John Henson. We'll see how we're doing this season. It would have been fantastic for John Henson to be involved in that as well. But obviously it is how it is, really. Should he went to Saudi Arabia? No, I don't think he should have. Obviously, I do get it, because obviously family, he's made money during his career. But obviously money like that, a contract like that, where he's earning so much money a week, it's life-changing. It is honestly life-changing how much you can earn over there just playing football every single week. So obviously you can't hate on it. I do get it, especially the LGBTQ plus community are 100% have the right to be angry and annoyed at this decision by John Henson to go over to Saudi Arabia. They do feel betrayed. I do get it, because John Henson has been a massive vocal voice in the last 5 or 6 years at being Liverpool captain with the LGBTQ plus community and fighting for their rights. And obviously Saudi Arabia, we all know that is a country that does not allow same-sex marriage, and you can die. You can be killed if you go over there and you are gay. You can get killed. So I definitely think that side of the argument probably feels like, yeah, they've been betrayed. But obviously you have to think about his family. You know, if you offer that, it's so hard to say no. It really is. It would settle him down for the rest of his life. He wouldn't have to work ever again. And people would say, "Oh yeah, he's earning money," but that kind of money every single week it's significant for any family. So I don't hate him for going. Do I love him as much as I used to? No, I don't. I feel like people do forget how good he was at Liverpool, the significance of him at Liverpool. Obviously he did that interview as well. I haven't watched the interview, but I know he did an interview saying stuff publicly about Liverpool and his career and all that. Yeah, so obviously people probably lost respect for him for that, but you know it's his opinion, it's his voice. You know, it's hard to argue with that. I love John Henson. I look up to him. I looked up to him all through my life. Him being at Liverpool, you know, he was the captain. He was the vocal. He was Steven Gerrard's replacement as captain at Liverpool. He's led us to so much success over the last 5 or 6 years in like some of Liverpool's best ever moments in their history as well. So I'm forever grateful for John Henson for what he's done to Liverpool. But and then off the pitch, he has been a role model for the last 10 or so years as well. Obviously, he has lost a lot of respect of people. Have I lost respect of him? No. Do I look up to him the same? No. I don't look up to him the same as I used to. I don't look at him as like, oh my god, he's my proper idol. Steven Gerrard's my like idol. Mohamed Salah's my idol. And they're like top idols for me growing up. John Henson used to be in that conversation. I still think he's up there. I still love him. I still think I'm still forever grateful. But there's just that little bit of love, that little bit of spark I've lost in him as well. I just don't think he should have won. I was saying I think he should have went back to Sunderland or even the MLS. You can still earn a lot of money in the MLS. You see Leo Messi going over there now, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, all that. Even if he didn't play for Inter Miami, even if he went to just MLS side, we've seen Hector Herrera go over there. We saw Jim Better go over there. Like 10, 50, what, like 15 years ago now. Probably before I was born, I think he went over there. So obviously we've seen big players go MLS. Obviously we're seeing the big Saudi revolution now, where we're seeing Cristiano Ronaldo, Kareem Benzema, a 2022 Ballon d'Or winner, Ronaldo 5-time Ballon d'Or winner. We're seeing these big names go over to Saudi Arabia, and John Henson probably wanted to help improve Saudi Arabian football, help build like the revolution of the Saudi Pro League, and I do get the challenge. I do get why he's run over there. I just don't think it was the right decision for him. He knew that this would not ruin his reputation, but it would definitely annoy some people. I just think the player he is, the human he should have went right. We'll go over MLS for a year, earn a bit of money over there. I won't lose any respect over there if I go over there. I still think he should went to Sunderland. I think what you say, 32, 33 now. He hasn't got the legs anymore to like play top Premier League football. He couldn't start for Liverpool anymore. Simple as that. Our midfield this season, John Henson just does not have the legs to start in that Liverpool midfield now. But I still think it would have been great to have him as a leader in the dressing room, like what James Milner was. And obviously James Milner played like when Trent was injured or whatever, he played up right back to cover him. Henderson could have done that. Like we've seen Szoboszlai injured now, he could have done that for a few weeks. Just slot in there, do the job. Szoboszlai comes back, Henderson goes back to being that leader in the dressing room and coming off the bench if we need him. I just think that would have been great for him. It wouldn't have ruined his reputation at all. Would have loved him even more. And if he led us to more silverware, which I do think we'll win a trophy this year, at least one trophy, would have been great to see him lift another trophy as Liverpool captain. Even if he just left at the end of the season, that would have been alright. He could work at Sunderland, in my opinion. As his hometown club, that's the club he supports, I believe. His mum was actually my PE teacher. in primary, so I do know his family and all that. Obviously, his dad was at the Champions League final in Madrid, when Liverpool won 2-0 against Tottenham, and we saw those beautiful scenes where he was hugging his dad. I believe his dad just recovered off cancer. So they're the things that you love to see. That's who John Henderson is, that down to earth, genuine guy who just loves football and loves his family. But going over to Saudi, people just be thinking, oh, he's a vile human being. No way, he doesn't care about anybody like that. He is not a vile human being. He's not vile. I don't want to hear any of this shit, to be honest. The slaughter, the comments on social media are disgusting. What I've seen, he's getting slaughtered for it. He's getting slaughtered, and people just don't respect him anymore. It's horrible, horrible to see. But he must have knew that would have tarnished his reputation. It must have, unless he doesn't really care about that, which I don't believe. I think he does care about his reputation a lot. And what he did at Liverpool, he was the genuine hard-working guy who just powered through Liverpool's midfield to a Premier League, to a Champions League, and all these trophies as well. So I think that he could have, one, went to MLS, two, went to Sunderland. I know he wouldn't have got paid as much. I don't know. I still think Sunderland should have been like, oh, right, he's leaving Liverpool, let's get him in for at least 1 year, have the final farewell, and he could even retired at the end of the year, or even in 2 years, because I think he's near that point where he's going to retire in the next year or so. Obviously, he wouldn't have got paid as much, but it would have been great to see, and Sunderland fans would have loved that, because they still love him, they do. I talk a lot of Sunderland fans, still love John Henderson a lot, and I still think he's absolutely brilliant, and I still think he's one of their own. So it would have been great to see him go back to Sunderland. I would love to see him go back to Sunderland. I would have definitely went to a Sunderland match and watched them, because I do love him. I still think he's brilliant, but obviously there's that little bit where you think, it's just gone a little bit, the love. But yeah, all you could say Liverpool, being that leader in the dressing room. But obviously there's that side where it's his family and all that. The money is significant, and obviously the chance to change football in the Middle East is obviously a big opportunity as well. So I feel like I do get it, but I don't think he should have went. I don't think Liverpool offered him a new contract. I don't know what happened. It was some. I'm not sure what happened. Comment down below. It was something between Klopp and Henderson, or the club not offering contract and all that. Or the fact that he knew he wasn't going to play. Stuff like that. But let's talk about the club he has went to now. Ajax. 6 months in Saudi Arabia. Terminated his contract, he didn't do much. He played for the 800 fans, he didn't change Saudi Arabian football. I'll give you that. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely didn't change it. 100% not. 800 fans is, I think the 7th-tier game in English football got more fans in than that a few months ago, which is just absolutely crazy. So he definitely did not change Saudi Arabian football. I'll guarantee you that. So was his time in Saudi Arabia a failure? Yeah, it was a failure. He didn't change Saudi Arabian football. I think he got like 5 assists or something like that. No wins at 8 games. He seemed like around 7th or 8th in the Saudi Pro League. So yeah, I think his time over there is probably a failure as well. So I think going to Ajax is probably a good move. He was linked with a lot of Premier League clubs. Even him going back to Liverpool was a possibility, but obviously it's just rumours. Jurgen Klopp said we shouldn't judge him and we shouldn't hate him, which I 100% agree. We shouldn't. It's his choice. It's his life, and we can't judge that. We just don't know what goes on behind the scenes in any football. We've seen Dele Alli come out in the last year with that heartbreaking interview. We just don't know what happens to these players who are on the global scene, and we don't know if they're struggling inside or whatever. So we can't really judge. You just don't know what's happening with any player in the world or any person in the world. So we have to be there for each other and not judge each other whatsoever. I think Ajax is a good move. They're not going to win the division this season. They've picked up since that dreadful start of the season where they were like I think they were like 17th or whatever in the Eredivisie. They're not going to be PSV in the Eredivisie this season. But yeah, there's a lot of young players at Ajax. Obviously Ajax is well known for their youth and their academy. We've seen the likes of Frankie de Jong, Matthias de Ligt, Hakim Ziyech. All these players play for Ajax in the last few years and be superstars afterwards. Obviously, Ziyech didn't work out with Chelsea. De Ligt is doing well at Bayern Munich now. Did decent at Juventus. Frankie de Jong's been at Barcelona since 2019. I believe he's been still a consistent midfielder for Barcelona and won the La Liga title last season. So they have had success ever since they left Ajax, and there's a lot of young players there as well. So Jordan Henderson's definitely a player who play a lot. He'll start for Ajax, you'll get the minutes, and you'll probably get the respect of the Ajax fans. And Ajax are obviously one of the most well-known clubs, one of the biggest clubs in football history. We're seeing so many players over the years play for Ajax and go on to be world superstars like Johan Cruyff, for example, like that. But I think Ajax is a good move for Jordan Henderson. You know, the Dutch aren't going to be criticising him. If he went back to England, we've seen him play for the England national team and be booed in Euro qualifiers, I think it was, in October. So we've seen the reaction from the English crowd. But playing in Evans, I think you'll just have a peaceful. I don't know how long the contract is. I'll have to double check. But you could have a peaceful year. So and then maybe go back to Sunderland, maybe go MLS, or even retire. Who knows? But I think it's a good move for John Henderson. Just get those Saudi days behind him and move forward in his career with the last few years in his career. So that's my opinion on John Henderson. So in conclusion, I don't agree that he should have went to Saudi Arabia. I do not hate him for going to Saudi Arabia, and I still have a lot of respect for him. He is still one of my favourite ever Liverpool players because of what he's done for the club, and I wish him all the best in the future. So that is my opinion on the Jordan Henderson transfer from Saudi Arabia to Ajax and how it unfolded as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Next week, I'm not sure what I'll be talking about yet. Comment down below if anyone wants to come on, do a quiz, do all time 11, whatever. Please DM me. My Snapchat, LewisHillis89, my Instagram, LewisHillis89, and my TikTok, LewisHillisFootballMind. So make sure you guys follow there. Like this video, please subscribe to the channel and shout me out as much as you can to expand the channel. I really love doing this video with you guys and I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys for watching and I'll see you on the next video.